What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It's your boy OCP, man. Back with you with. If you don't know, you will. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're here for some. I know it's late, people. You know what I'm saying? We done had a lot of technical difficulties this evening, but I think we got them all worked out. So we're here to bring y'all talk about these love and money. What we talking about today, Mimi?
Well, earlier
we're talking about what's more important to keep a relationship going strong. Okay, the love you share or the money you have.
Yep. That's what we talking about today. But first, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all ain't seen these guys in the wild, man. You know.
Yeah, so send your husbands out the room.
Yeah, man. We got Black Man Strong over there.
Yeah, that's me.
Black Man Strong.
And now so we have your boy Recon John. You know what I'm saying?
The Money Train twins.
Right.
Hey, dude, my wife's gonna find out about that.
And also, you said we have a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, like, she ain't old to the show. You know what I'm saying? She's been around forever. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Yeah, she's been doing her own thing, but it's all good. I'm glad to have her back, Miss Demi Queen.
Queen.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's your girl, Demi Queen of Positivity. Yeah. That's a little rat shit, and I'm home, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know it. And also my lovely wife, Mimi Jean. You did.
Also known as Strawberry Fantasy and Sandy Cheeks.
Well, y'all ain't been to the beach in a while.
Yeah, man. So we was talking about this topic, and it became a little spicy. So you know that's why Demi Queen on here, because you know what I'm saying, I figure my wife need a little help. You know what I'm saying, with these fellas. You know what I mean?
Not contributing factor.
She better go get you a plethora of women.
Yeah, you got to help me on this one because you know, it's a topic that's kind of strong. And sometimes these guys, when they start talking about this money, it gets a little
they're trying to pay for it.
It gets a little heated.
Well, I'm here to defend all the queendoms and the queens in it. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it. We're gonna let the ladies run the show today. You know what I mean?
First, yeah. Well, usually when on this topic, we have to.
I mean, at least you know.
Yeah, I'm 43. I get it. Right.
Okay, so we're talking about what keeps a relationship strong. Is it the money or is it the love? Now, I know we all want to say it's the love that keeps it going on strong. So we just want to know what the panel thinks, what everybody think out there about relationships when we're talking about money. And when things are like rough and your back's against the wall and things like that. But let's talk about initially, what are those expectations?
That usually costs an extra
setting those expectations. What you got to say, dear McQueen, about that?
Yo, first of all, money does rule the world, but it should not rule your household all the way. It should have a contributing factor, but it should not be the rule of your house. Money should not take over conversations and be utilized in arguments where I make $2 more than you, where I make $1 more 50 than you, and I'm this. It shouldn't be that way. But when it comes to finances, the topic should always be part of the top 5. You know, you got relationship standards that you need to talk about. You got a family cues you need to talk about. Finances need to be somewhere in your conversation while dating, while figuring out if it's marriage. Or if you're just poking them a little bit, find out if they got that $40, put it on the counter.
Poking them. So
I like poking them.
When you poking them or whatever you're doing like in that initial conversation. So how early is too early to be talking about finances in a relationship? How early is too early? Because we were talking about, we were offline earlier. We were talking about setting those expectations. We were talking about how you are approaching me. If you're approaching me like, okay, I got it like that. I got the money. We doing this and we doing that. Then you know how the song go. The same thing you do to get them. It's the same thing you got to do to keep them. The same thing you got to do. So, in terms of that, what do you think, guys? What about your approach? I mean, how are you approaching people out here?
Sometimes I like doing the dolphin. And
not that approach. Not that approach.
Well, I was gonna
not that approach.
Yeah, but my back's hurting.
No,
my approach, I feel like this. A lot of people just like what you were talking about, whatever you did to get them, you got to do to keep them. Even stars burn out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so when it's your job. I don't think it's money or to me is you have a social contract with another human being. And if you actually love them going into it before you had money, then that should be your answer, right? You know what I mean?
Okay. So, whether you're rich or poor, broke or
but if it doesn't matter how long the longer you're with somebody, if you love them, you're gonna make whatever work, no matter what, you know. So you're gonna put so you know. Sometimes I like putting a little ball in her mouth and like doing the thing, and then sometimes you just gotta get creative. You know, sometimes I'll use like 3 fingers when she said don't use 1.
Oh my God,
sir, sir,
yeah,
come back.
That was a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's $15.
Her back.
Yeah. What about you, bro?
Well, I'm looking at it from the perspective of being in a marriage before, going through divorce and everything. It plays a factor. It plays a major factor when you got family, you got kids, all that household to take care of. So yes, I agree with Sis when she says that finance has to take place somewhere, but at the end all be all, if you dealing with a person strictly just for that, then you already lost. That's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because finances can come, they can grow, they can decrease, but if the love for that person has an edge and flow when it comes to something that's materialistic, then you already fail.
Okay, and I feel like, and I'm just gonna be speaking from a female perspective. That's the only perspective I know how to speak from. So you have to
2024, take that.
Yeah. So you gotta forgive me if it seems that if you disagree with me, it's my gender. Okay. So you know, women, we are generally we go off of your vibe, so to speak, or whatever. You know, we're going to be happy when you're happy, and we're going to celebrate with you, and then we're going to be sad when you're sad. When it comes to finances, sometimes even if things are a little rocky, or there's a bill or something coming up that we're stressing about, or the hours got cut or something like that, you know, women, we will still be the same. But what we find is that sometimes our male counterparts are not. And I think is that, and I'm gonna ask the men, because like I said, I'm not a man. Is that your way of coping with the financial issues? By, you know, sometimes you may shut down, sometimes you may be a little argumentative, sometimes, you know, other things, you know, could pursue. So is that a coping mechanism or what? Because, you know, we don't care. We're gonna take you to the bed, whether we happy, sad, broke, poor, whatever.
Well, as far as a man's perspective on things like that, I feel like it's an adage, an old saying that a woman's life is love and a man's love is life. So when a man looks at how he sustains things in a household and a relationship, it can be a lot of pressure when you get to a point where you say, okay, it's constantly building up. You know what I'm saying? As far as financially wise. But if that man is not nurtured on a certain end and he dealing with XYZ outside of it, it can be overbearing. Now, be there as it may, that not just gender wise, but everybody got something to deal with outside of the household. When you go out and try to make a life, a living, you know what I'm saying, for each other or for yourself or whatever. And I just feel like that when it becomes overbearing as a man, yeah, we get quiet at times, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, well, I'll speak for myself. When I get quiet on certain situations, I'm evaluating everything. If I'm constantly blurting out answers, if I'm constantly being pressed to just give an instantaneous answer, that's not healthy. It's not gonna solve no problems.
Oh no, hell no.
What I have to do is I have to step back, retain what's going on, evaluate what's going on, and it may take longer than what the woman needs, because she's talking about an immediate response. Like I said, her life is love. The man's love is life. I gotta figure this shit out. And it takes a little stretch. It takes a little time to do it.
That's how I do too. Like I usually I'll get real quiet about things and I don't mean to, and I'm non-sociable. and then I'll. But I'm going through plan A, plan B, the contingency plan just in case this don't work, and then I'm trying to make sure that all my ducks are in a row.
Because if you don't, then it's more pressure added.
Well, I know, but then that's why they. Well, she usually takes care of the pressure. But
so can I interject on that?
But what I'm saying,
what you say, Eric? Hold on.
I want to interject on that because
Go ahead, Eric.
I tend to see men do that a lot. They internalize what goes on, and they keep it so deep inside of them that it does bring on other types of pressures with stress and anxiety and depression. The thing about you having a mate is having someone to mate with, having somebody to be there with and go through those struggles. How long do you internalize before you trust who you're dating? And how long do you allow that to play on you? And it doesn't have to. If you have a real one, if you have somebody in your life that don't mind, here, baby, here go 20. Okay, what we got to do on the bills? You need to trust your mate at some point in time and say, we need to come together on this. I ain't got it like that right now. Or I'm coming up short.
And that is true, but like I think a lot of our issues is that we really don't have a woman to talk to. No way. A lot of women, they'll put their feelings on our feelings. I don't feel the same way you do. Like I feel this kind of way. So you gotta respect the way you gotta respect my emotions. That's a man. The way I you know what I'm saying.
A lot of times we're not allowed.
I express it mine different. Sometimes I need to sit in silence. That's
the only.
I know it's because that shit is silence is loud as hell sometimes.
You
know what I'm saying?
And that's understandable.
Let me calm down. But then you keep coming to me and talking about what's wrong. Ain't nothing. Man, let me figure this out. Then I can come to you.
There's no way.
But you don't understand it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm telling you, I'm fine. Just let me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I
so
do that on the way home. I won't have the radio going, nothing. I'll be sitting in my little world, and I feel like I got like 3 or 4 different hamsters in my head just fucking spinning that wheel. The other day, I was pissed off about taxes, man. Like thinking to myself, am I a stripper? Like, do I pay in to go to work? And there's a whole conversation that I'm having with myself on the way home, and then I get home and it's like, hey, here, take the baby. I just worked 12 hours. Look at me. Look at my eyes, bitch. I'm sorry, man.
And that becomes a problem when you have to sit in front of your house before you walk in your house.
Oh shit!
Something wrong. Something completely
wrong. Really wrong. I used to eat before I got home.
Or like a lot of times when you get in a situation, I'd rather be at work than being home.
That shit. You know what I mean?
But it goes back to who you have in your life.
Yeah, it does.
It goes back to when did you choose to have this problem? When did you choose to talk? How many times have y'all communicated about feelings and about emotions? Because even though we don't,
that's
look
what I'm
at
saying.
it like
Most women don't respect a man's emotion.
So why continue the relationship?
If you fuck around and go to your woman crying, she gonna look at you like a pussy.
Because today's society,
you feel what I'm saying?
Today's society is breeding that shit. If you show your emotions and you ain't shit.
Right.
But you know what? There's a select few of us.
Yeah.
A rare breed of women.
Right there.
There's a rare breed of women out here that wants to know what's going on with you emotionally because it starts there. Even though you say it's the strength in you, it's the emotion or the sometimes emotional imbalance. It comes from us too.
Right.
We gotta know what's going on here so we know how to work out the physical. It's not just a sexual thing with us, it's mental too. So if you don't have a woman that's more concerned about your mental more so than your money, you're already fucking up.
Yeah, but like y'all say, and that is true. It's all about how you pick them too. Like how you start. And most of us start, like me and my wife, we started off when we were like 14, 15 years old. Didn't have no business being old. You know what I mean?
Serious
relationship, right?
Yeah.
But then, like as we got older and we started changing our minds about life, each other people. You know what I'm saying? Because everywhere you move around, you pick people in your life to be around, and you tend and they habits rub off on you. So now you're questioning your mate. You know what I mean? You question your mate or whatever. Like, damn, what I get myself? But hell, you 8 years in now.
Yeah, it's definitely a
you know what I mean?
It's definitely a conversation I think that needs to be had in the very beginning because a lot of people, we all were, you were raised different ways or whatever, and you had different ideas and different I ain't gonna say role models, but different upbringings, different ways that money was introduced to you.
Right.
I mean, maybe you saw
Financial
your uncle,
wise.
maybe you saw your uncle and his wife, and they seemed to have it together financially.
Yeah.
Maybe you saw somebody else that didn't necessarily decide to have it together. And I say, it's whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes splitting bills may work for some people.
My grandmother
and putting them together may work for some people, but who knows which is the right way if you don't talk about it.
I think it's always if both parties happy, it's the right way. But if another party have resentment about how this shit going,
that's exactly
it's wrong.
See,
so you know what I'm saying? It's always going to, every relationship different. Every situation is going to be different. Because we grew up,
I agree with that.
The mama didn't work. That worked out.
That's what I was just going to say. I got a grandmother.
Water ran. He had food cooked. He had a clothes laid out.
I got a grandmother, 86 years old, right?
You know what I'm saying?
My grandmother, 86 years old, and the majority of the stories I hear about my grandfather is that since they first met, she never had to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then you look at the demographic from then to now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. In a lot of instances, it was a lot harder for a man, especially a black man, to be able to provide for his family.
Yeah, then he been fucking all week because he got 8 kids by the woman, and then he only making minimum wage.
And they tell
that's a lot.
And they're telling you in your mind from slavery to that the more kids you have, the more you are to be able to sustain a family. Because because everybody able to work. You got a lot of working bodies, so to speak. Now let's fast forward to not even 2024. Let's fast forward to 1980. Let's fast forward to 1990. How people are raised as far as demographics when the woman is equal in the workforce, and even more so, you got what they call it. As far as law wise, you got to have enough people, enough demographics, enough Asian, enough women, enough men. Affirmative action. You know what I'm saying? You got this in place. So now. And then on top of that, you got the government stepping in as far as with food stamps and child support and all this. So now the whole element of being a provider has been manipulated and changed. So the man being the head of the household, taking care of everything monetarily wise.
But see,
now
and we talked about that. Like, the head of the household, that's a little bit different for me. Because me and my wife, we talk about it, and I tell people all the time, she make more money than I do. But I'm still the man in the household. I still have a certain kind of masculine energy to control my. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But my wife always has made more money than me. They don't make me beneath.
The money should not.
I'm still the man of the house.
Exactly.
Because I bring on a certain kind of energy. You feel what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
The
money is the control.
I've never had anything
it shouldn't be
like that where my wife was just making more money than me, right?
Yeah.
I was always raised that no matter how much each of them made, like the man, like. So my wife,
she may be better at finance.
She don't worry about I've never just told her what the bills were. I just pay the fuckers.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
that's how I am.
And then, sometimes when I have a bad month or a bad year, she don't even know how bad, because I'm not trying to bring that into for me, like the way I was raised. Like I try not to burden her with worry or doubt, because I, as a man, feel like I shouldn't bring that worry or doubt to the table. That's not their job to worry about. It's my job.
Right. But that's just the way you were raised. Like you say, everybody. But
so sometimes my stress levels are on like a 15 out of a 10.
Right.
And nobody knows what it is.
Right.
And my wife, she now being together like 13 years, she knows mannerisms. She knows when like I'm starting to go through shit.
Right.
And that's and see, you got a real woman, and I knew that I got a real woman when like her attitude would shift. When you said that, because you do feed off of emotions. And if you're really in tune with that other person, you know exactly just by the way they set something down, throw it down, set it down, or the way they look. And so I think it takes like just real love is like being together no matter what.
Yeah.
So if you're genuine, and you know that person like physically, mentally, and
Because I can come home and I can be like,
it's
I'm here for the back home. What's wrong? You know what I'm saying? And that at least let me know.
It takes time too.
Because a lot of times we do that.
Well, that's like you
want one again, nigga.
It's like playing poker.
It's like playing poker. You gotta learn people. And my wife blows me off because I joke a whole lot, but because I'll be bullshitting all the time. But I make her laugh. I enjoy making her laugh, right? And then there's some days where it's like I don't go into my usual, whatever dumbass saying I'm gonna say to her to make her laugh or giggle. Sometimes I just wake up and it's like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going through the motions because I'm in my own head playing out how I'm going to take care of shit.
Right.
What would you say, Erica? Go ahead.
So, like y'all saying, y'all fully going into the mode.
You muted. You muted.
So we go. Okay, now you unmuted.
Wait, what about now?
She went out again.
You went out.
You still nonverbal.
That usually happens to women after I'm done.
Your own. Let me see if I can help you.
Speechless.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you still on?
Hold on. Let me check this over. Hold on. Let me get her.
I'm off of mute now.
All right, you should be straight now.
I'm off mute now.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Go ahead.
It's gonna be a lag because I hit mute like 2 minutes ago and then it's like So
okay.
What I was saying is you're basically saying the point. It takes you knowing your mate. It takes that woman knowing your cues. It takes that woman understanding when you're going through something, they need to either go through it with you or stand back. That's learning your mate. And when we go
but a lot of people don't want to learn.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to learn. And
they prefer the man to instantly adapt.
Yeah, they just want what they want when they want it.
They just want to bring the horse to the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know who I was when you met me.
No, I didn't, because you changed
it up
a year later.
But I'm saying some people will do you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll just change on you. Because I say, everybody don't know how to protect their energy.
Right.
So they let all energy come to them and change them.
Because
you over here looking like
my mindset is a man. My mindset is a man. I need your energy.
See, I had my wife tell me that when she was working at the bar. She told me that she's like, you knew that before we even got together. I'm like, yeah, that was before the C-section scar, bitch. Let me tell you something. Now,
why are you like this?
Yeah. But see, check it out. As a man, you the cornerstone, right?
Right.
You the cornerstone of your household. You the cornerstone of your community.
That's
the cornerstone of your family.
Yeah.
But in order to be the cornerstone, you have to have the right nurturing.
Yeah.
And then and she can only nurture you if you are the cornerstone. So one hand walks the other.
So, ladies, let me ask y'all this. So when do you think it's a good time to even be involved in a serious relationship? Is it when you think like just when is it? I ain't gonna
it's when the line on the test.
I said ladies.
Ladies. Okay, now you asked us when was a good time to do what now?
To indulge in a serious relationship.
In a serious, okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean when
it's
a good
like
time
when it's a good time?
To indulge. I mean,
there you go. See, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah.
When you're enough to know that the thing is love or money.
Mm-hmm.
We're speaking in terms of
yeah, no.
Like relationship.
Yeah.
So there's so many levels to this thing. It's a wide spectrum, you know what I'm saying? So think about this. When we were younger, we looked at that situation different.
Very different.
Our wants and needs were out of line. So the question is,
that's
where they and now. When do they think a woman is a good time to in a relationship?
To be satisfied.
That they had with either money in a relationship when it was good, or they saw when it failed, they bailed, or to the point where when the money mattered more than the money, and good to a certain extent.
Yeah, because in the beginning of my relationship, I was like Winnie the Pooh. I had my arm all in that shit.
Oh wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have sworn y'all asked the ladies.
So now once again, ladies.
You said when it's a good time to enter into a serious relationship.
Okay,
I think it's individualized. When it's time for me, it might not be time for when it's somebody else. And when you say serious relationship, I think when we start dating and talking to somebody, we don't always know how it's going to turn out. We don't know if we're going to be serious or not.
Right.
Depending on, I guess, your age and where you are as far as dating or whatever. So you don't know how it's going to turn out. But one thing you do know on that first date is what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And most women are looking for a man that is financially stable. You know, it's just like when you first go out, you go out to dinner and everybody's wondering, okay, who gonna pay? Are we gonna split? Or am I gonna pay for mine?
Split?
Am I gonna pay for mine? You gonna pay for yours? For me.
I'm gonna pay for dinner and then you
paying for me.
Right.
See,
okay,
and
so
that's why.
Hold on, Erica. Erica, I'm kind of putting you on mute, so let me know when you come in because I'm still getting the loop back a little bit.
Feedback.
Feed, now it's a loop back. So I'll you ready? You ready to answer? I got you. Go ahead.
So that whole situation, when is it when it's become serious?
Whenever.
When you
whenever you ready. Like, what's a good time for? Do you think?
Do you deem it serious?
You should start.
When he considers me without being told, that's when it's serious. When he does things without me asking. My mom taught me well. She said, if I have to ask for it, I really don't need it. If you are a man, I'm a woman. Basic needs to happen. If you do it without me saying it, okay, yeah, you considering me. You're starting to see me. If I'm immediately comfortable, when I say comfortable, I have my own little signals when I say, okay, yeah, this is getting serious when I fall asleep around you. Like literally fall asleep, slob and everything.
You feel safe.
But honestly, when it becomes serious, is when we're in a serious situation and I'm being vulnerable with you. And I'm going to see how you interact in your encounter with me.
Right.
If it's jokingly and you just switch me off, then you're not learning me like you need to learn me. If you're being communicative and understanding that I need you to be a listening ear right now. And yes, I need you to be honest with me. And in the honesty, it still needs to be love, respect, and understanding. I can feel that as a real woman.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when it becomes serious. I'm allowing you to see me in my vulnerability, and I'm trying to trust you in it. Once I trust you in my vulnerability, then that's when, yeah, baby, you can't go nowhere because you've seen a raw.
I got a question.
I wanted to, and to add to that too, since we talking about it from that perspective, I feel like when your back is up against the wall and times get tough, I think that's when when it's serious too, because now you get ready to see how that person really gonna act, how that person gonna do. They're gonna bail, they're gonna just go crazy, or they're gonna shut down. How are you under pressure? What you gonna do? Are you looking for me to fix everything? Or are you gonna say I got it or whatever? If do you have my back? Are you showing me that same empathy if something is going on with me? Now, when I hurt, you should be hurting too. But if you say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna go and play basketball," then that means I don't think you're being attentive to my needs. So then I don't think we're gonna be serious. I don't think we're gonna be serious at all.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the man's, well, I'm gonna take the gender out of it. As far as a person's intestinal fortitude on certain situations, that plays a factor too. Some people are built different, just completely.
Yeah.
Like for instance,
I mean, all people built different.
But I'm talking about when it comes to certain situations. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I grew up. I'm not gonna say I grew up in just you know what I'm saying. I'm not no charity case.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't grow up with the, you know what I'm saying, in the best lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn at an early age to have a survivalist mentality about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then also not growing up in a household where my parents were married and this and the third was set up. I grew up in a household where it was my grandmother and my grandfather, and we all lived. My mother, my aunts, uncles. We like, you see our family picture. It's not my mama, my dad, me, and my siblings. Right. It's my grandmother, all her children, uncles, and then it's me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up with that mentality of an old school type of family setting, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But when the person is faced with certain things coming into a relationship, and then, like she said a second ago, like being able to adhere to things without asking, that doesn't happen overnight.